Howdy everyone, Poacher here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we're doing the hero spotlight for Devourer, the melee damager for the demons, the newest character for the demon faction, and he is the ascended version. This is like Goku Ultra Instinct version of Abyss Hound. He is a monster, an absolute monster, and good luck trying to stop him from killing your team. This is what he's built to do, and he is efficient at it. So we'll go over his stats, his abilities, and we are not going to do a battle with this guy. We have done a battle already, so feel free and go check that out. But we will do battle reports, some proper battle reports with the Renegades, because there are many ways to use them now. And with more heroes coming out, they are becoming very accessible and very, very versatile in which heroes you can use with Corvus as the leader. So coming in with stats, we have hit points at 21 million, speed 260, armor 611k, magic damage resistance 615k, basic damage 4.4 million, critical hit chance is 15%. That's very, very low, but his abilities help improving that in certain situations. Critical damage is 5.3 million. His more in-depth stats are here. Feel free to stop it, have a look whatever you want. Use it how you see fit. Information is there for you to use however you want. Okay, let's jump over into the arena and start looking at what this character is capable of doing. Up first, we have Devourer's basic attack, ramming, performs a merely physical attack on one target. If the target has any debuff, the attack ignores fortitude and cannot be dodged. Cast slowdown on the target, reduces speed by 50% for 2 turns. Awakening this, the damage of the ability is increased by 25%. The attack ignores fortitude and dodging ability for any debuff. So we'll go ahead and cast the ability now on the Luxuria. He dashes, and let's slow that down, just do it one more time to look at the animation. Pretty good, there we go. I'm a big fan of the slow debuff because it does play into one of his other abilities, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Moving on to Devourer's second ability, we have Bloodbath. Deals damage to all other allies equal to 25% of his basic attack. Allied renegades and demons take half of that damage. Performs 2 merely physical attacks on all enemies. Every successful hit removes 1 debuff band from the target. Damage per hit is increased by 100% of damage taken by demons and renegades from the Devourer, and by 50% of damage taken of other allies. The chance of dealing critical damage with an ability is increased by 10%. Awakening this, damage is increased by 15%. Critical damage is increased by 5% per ally wounded by an ability. It's very interesting that the damage increase from the Awakenings is progressively getting lower and lower as we get newer and newer heroes. We used to see damage increase by 100%. I think there were a few over 100%. Then we got down to 50%. Now we're getting 15%. I mean, it's just the fact that these heroes are just genetically stronger, and they don't need as much boost from their Awakenings. So it just goes to show, the abilities are containing a lot of stuff. Every hero is now doing a lot of things. It's just very interesting development in how Awakenings are being applied as well. It's just a continuously changing scene. I could do a whole video on it. Maybe I will. I don't know. But let's have a look at the animation of the ability. So we'll jump across, I'm assuming. Yep, nice. I know he damages, then he dashes, and boom, boom, boom. Nice dots. We get the support attack from the Void Gunner. Honestly, Void Gunner is one of my favorite heroes. He is. When I first saw him, I was like, nah, whatever. Just another hero. But he has quickly risen in the ranks. Don't worry about what just happened there. We're not playing a proper battle. Let's move on to the next ability. Moving on to Devourer's third ability, we have Roar of Rage. Performs a merely physical attack on all enemies. Targets with slowdown, skip turn, or any dot effects on them lose 100% initiative. Cast skip turn on the targets for 2 turns. Awakening this, damage is increased by 25%. If Corvus or Abaddon are leaders, then the ability attack is guaranteed to be critical. So, I mean, you're not really running any other leader with this hero. In saying that, you could potentially run him solo in 6v6 if you wanted to, and you would be losing out on that. But, I mean, to just get guaranteed critical is pretty decent. It's the potential for a lot of damage. the ability has a lot of damage, a lot of utility, and it's quite easy to get the utility. Conditioned abilities are often difficult. They are often difficult because to set them up, there are so many things that can interfere. Skip turns, removal of debuffs, removal of buffs, turn, the way characters move, their turn initiative. I just say initiative, turn initiative, or turn sequence. Conditional things are painful sometimes, but when you have a character like Devourer who can apply the 100% initiative reduction through dot effects, and you consider that you have a character like Void Gunner, again, yes, though very conditional and all the things I just mentioned still apply, having a character like Void Gunner who is so efficient in applying dots, it makes sense. There's a synergy there between these two heroes. Honestly, I would love to see these two heroes break off and a fully new demon faction be introduced somehow. I think there is the potential for a really cool demon faction, even if they did something like the Crimson Order, where they just create a new timeline and introduce the demons of another time. That would be pretty cool. I just think the demons are just there. They're so good, and they feel overshadowed being utilized in a renegade team. They're just utility units for the renegades, where I really feel like they should be standalone units for their own faction. That's what I believe. But anyway, great ability, probably his best one. We'll move on to his passive. Moving on to the Devourer's passive, we have Abyssal Beast. The Devourer's initiative cannot be reduced, and his cooldowns cannot be increased. Devourer blocks any buffs or debuffs cast on him. For every buff blocked, he restores 12% HP. For every debuff blocked, his initiative increases by 10%. The critical damage chance of any attack is increased by 2% for every darkness or dragon token on allies. Awakening this character's ability or passive, when allied Corvus or Abaddon takes damage from an enemy attack, that enemy receives Mockery. The target will only attack Devourer for 2 turns. Each time the Devourer takes damage from an attack, he has a 5% chance per allied demon or renegade to reduce the cooldown of a random ability by 1. So, yeah, pretty good passive. He is just built as, the theme is pretty much an unstoppable beast. Like, you think of Hellhounds, there is not much that can stop a Hellhound. Not even a line of salt does the job. So, this guy is just he's gonna wreak havoc. The whole point of this character, the whole theme of him is he is just unstoppable. You can't buff him, you can't debuff him, you can't reduce his initiative, you can't do anything to this character. He is coming for you and you cannot stop it. So yeah, the Mockery thing is really nice as well, considering that, when he receives buffs, he just restores HP. There's always going to be ways to increase his HP. The team is not void of buffs. They're not the goos. They're going to be able to cast them constantly and keep him nice and healthy. So, yeah, the only downside is that without the buff, the only power he's getting defensive-wise is through any passives or leadership abilities. He's not getting anything through, buffs. But when you consider Corvus's ability that he through his leadership, he reduces the damage of the enemy by 15% per token on himself, that's fine. That's still going to affect the Devourer. It's not a buff for the Devourer. So he's going to be tanky. You see, there's literally no way to stop this character that I can think of. You can't polymorph him, you can't stun him, you can't reduce his cooldowns. I would consider him a better version and the demon version of Ash. I think they share the same role, the theme of an unstoppable hero. But yeah, I'm not going to do a battle with this character. We have done a battle before, but I will start to do battle reports on what the team actually beats, because the Renegade / Demons are now in a position in the game where there are multiple ways to build this faction, and how you play with it completely changes on who you're versing. So it's going to be a little bit of fun testing this, and I honestly now believe this is the strongest team in the game. And remember as well, we have Felicia on the way. We do not know anything about her. She is mentioned in Lola's skill, and when a character is normally mentioned in a skill, they're not too far out of sight. That's generally the rule. I could be wrong. We could not see her for years. Who knows? But it's there. She's in Lola's kit. And again, it's just going to be another hero that we have to jigsaw puzzle into the Renegades and see how she fits, who we take out. Yeah, it's crazy. They're like a superior version of the witches as well. All heroes are pretty much useful in some way, and you just got to figure out how to use them. There we go. There is the Devourer. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will answer it to the best of my ability. And wherever you're around the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.